Hey everyone, welcome back. And this is my second episode where I'm going to be sharing my process for building. What I'm building is Borderless Self. You can check it out at borderlessself.com. And I'm just going to do these videos to just document what my process has been. So, in the first one, I talked about writing a manifesto that embodied who I'm building for and why. And then the second thing I did was work on the brand, look and feel, designed a logo, made some decisions around color palette and fonts, etc., and built some brand guidelines. And I think that that step is actually going to become more and more important as more people work with AI because it becomes one of those first artifacts that you give give to the AI to in order for them to understand not only your look and feel but even your brand voice um, and persona, etc. And so that was the second step. So in today's video, I'm going to just talk about the basics of infrastructure that I set up and what decisions I made in terms of which LLM to work with. So in terms of infrastructure, so in parallel with doing some of the brand work and the creative stuff, I secured a domain and set up an email infrastructure. Um, and so I'm a Google Shop, and I also made a decision to start with a brand new laptop, and had to make a decision whether I was going to be a PC gal, which I have been for almost 25 years, or move to the Mac. And because I knew I wanted to build a mobile app, I decided to get a Mac and start fresh. And so it's been um, it's been great to really kind of bet on one platform. And so I'm coding in Xcode and using Swift and that whole infrastructure. So secured domains, secured all the socials on all the platforms I determined were useful, and and it's important you set up your email infrastructure first because it then makes getting all the social accounts into one um, email address very easy, and you have less problems being blocked if you are already set up as a business and already have the domain. And so getting verified, all that admin stuff, you might think, you know what, why are you doing this now? You haven't even built anything. It's because I've built a lot of experiences in my time. And I have found that getting the infrastructure right um, really prevents you getting blocked as you sign up for new software, as you sign up for new services. And quite often they're asking, are you signing up as a business? Do you have your business registration? Are you using a Gmail account, or do you have your email infrastructure? So I set up the email infrastructure end to end right from the start with a registered business. I'm registered in 3 countries and for various reasons. So I'm registered in the US. I have a registered US business. And the main reason why I chose to do that is because you get tech first. Quite often, when startups are launching new tech, new software, they will start with the US market, and you don't want to run into not available in your country. And so, having a US business just prevents that. So, and then I have my business headquartered in the UAE, for a number of reasons that will become more important going forward. And then I'm also registered in South Africa. And so that includes email infrastructure, banking infrastructure, address infrastructure, getting that up and running. And then I made a decision around CMS. So I've used all of them from as a solo entrepreneur using things like Wix and Squarespace to using a more sophisticated infrastructure like WordPress or enterprise grade at Webflow, etc. So I decided to go with WordPress. I know it inside and out, and I find it quite scalable. And and the reason why I went with WordPress was because I knew I was going to have to warm up my website. So even though we are getting into a post SEO world, SEO is not going anywhere. And even to enable citations in the LLMs, you need a website that is producing content. You need to be an authoritative site, and becoming an authoritative site is quite an exercise. And so I decided while I'm building my app, I would be publishing content on a frequent and regular basis, but I wasn't going to do it. So I'm going to share with you the content factory that I built. And let me just share my screen. So if you go to the Borderless Self website and you go to the intelligence section, you'll see that there are articles that are being published on a frequent basis. Now, I'm not publishing these. Well, I am publishing them, but it is actually my content factory, which I built on N8N and using Superbase as my database, using N8N for automation and orchestration. And it is a factory. I actually have multiple workflows, and they're all designed to either do research, to develop articles using a search. So I am piped into the data for SEO API, and I can essentially pump out articles as frequently as I would like. So right now I'm warming up the website and I'm publishing twice a day. And it's taken me a while to kind of optimize these articles so that they're not terrible. As you know, when you're working with AI, it takes a while for it to produce for you in such a way that it's it's ready for public consumption. So these are quite meaty articles that are SEO optimized and optimized for citation in LLMs. And it may take a few months, but right now I have the factory. And what I'm considering this is warming up the same way you warm up email accounts. You need to warm up your website. And that is what this content factory is designed to do. So that was actually quite a fun exercise, and building my SQL chops, building, continuing to use my marketing automation chops, and really understanding orchestration and working with the LLM to help me design the architecture for that. And we were successful in creating a factory that churns out two articles. Now you might be like, "Why did you build it, Yoli?" There's people things like um, uh, there are different um, software tools that can produce content and publish to WordPress for you. Agility Writer, I think it is. I think they're one of the best. Um, but I was like, I can build it. And I did. So that was the next step I did. Then this is before I've even built anything. So I've got the infrastructure app. We've got brand guidelines. We've got an email infrastructure app. We've got domain. We've secured all the socials. We've registered the business. And we've got a content factory that is now warming up the website. The website was not as fully designed as this. That came a little bit later. But what was up was the content, the blog. So, blog and resources. Um, so, resources, I built a bunch of tools that are free and kind of were the precursor for what I'm building in terms of the app. But that is a site that is now warming up. And as you can see, let's see if I can show you. Um, we've got Google Sitekit integrated, and you can see that there's some data in terms of how people are interacting with the website and the content. So this is just at the beginning and we're warming up. The thing that is encouraging is that the queries that are leading people to my site are exactly the kind of queries that I'm going to want to scale out and are informing the content factory. So that ended up being quite long. So I decided to split up this video into two videos. So be sure to check out part two, where I talk about what my opinion is and how I approach working with LLMs. So see you in the next video.